Hey there folks, rinimt here, and welcome back to Gods of the Twilight. Thank you Uber Strategist for the code for the game on Steam. It is out now on Steam Early Access with the first 5 chapters available. So we're on chapter 2 now. Finished up chapter 1 last time with Farkas. And well, he met Althea, and now we're going over to Althea, so a torch is lit by another and burns till it's burned out. A fire is kindled by another fire. A man becomes wise by speaking with other men, but foolish by keeping to himself. I take a look around my room. It's definitely an improvement over where I've been staying at the base. It's not home, but it feels as comfortable as a nice hotel. Everything is clean and fresh. There's also a painting of apples over my bed. That's cute, just in case it wasn't clear enough already that my host knows exactly who I am. Hamani returned to her duties after showing me the place and briefing me on the security protocols. Mainly just don't leave the building unaccompanied and be aware of the network restrictions. My phone can use some services but not others, and it can't tell me my location on the map. The local network apparently regulates what I have access to and obscures my own data from anyone outside. Sorry, I just got distracted by something. Basically, I can communicate with people inside the local network or read or watch things online, but not much else. Oh, nope, we're not doing auto advance. But not much else. It's a huge improvement over the network at the base. What the heck? It's still going auto. Why are you doing this game? Turn off. Okay. It's a huge improvement over the network at the base. Oh my god, what the heck? We're just reloading. Where is load? Reloading. Yes. Is it still? Are we good? Are we off auto? Outside, communicate with people outside, not much else. Need to put over the network at the base, where I had little more than a sanitized encyclopedia to browse. But being able to see the online world again is a bit torturous without the ability to respond. Especially if I see updates from anyone I know. I see classmates posting about the recent attacks, making wild speculations. I'm trying to set them straight, but I'm gagged. It's like looking out at the window from a glass cage, out at the world from a glass cage. Miranda and Omar saw what happened to Pietro, and I'm relieved they're doing well enough to post, but then the family replies and asking everyone to leave them alone about it? I haven't exactly been allowed to recover in peace. I shift my mind back to settling in. I don't have much luggage, just the handbag I had with me at school and the Apple box. This place seems well supplied enough that I can hopefully ask for different clothes. I'm pretty done with choosing between the uniforms and stock at the base and flash cleaning the same outfits every day. I look out the window at the beach. Even under the perpetually gray sky, there's a serene beauty to it. And just being able to lie here on the bed for a while is kind of nice. No pressure to immediately get anything done. Here it feels as tight as it did at the base. There are guards everywhere I turn. I don't know if I'll ever get used to seeing guns everywhere. My family's homes always had security, but most cities didn't allow firearms. They had sprays, tasers, bats, blades, strength and speed enhancements, which were enough against my most would-be home invaders or muggers. Now, against some cult with Black Ops level gear, holds all kinds of high-tech armor. No doubt there are security cameras everywhere as well, even if I can't see where. Sure, every city I've lived in has been full of cameras, but then I just felt like part of the crowd. I could shrug it off and say no one really cares about me and my data specifically, but now, like dozens of strangers who all know my name are constantly tracking me, and only me. I'm empathizing more and more with the precautions Johannes likes to take. I glance around the corners of my ceiling, wondering how thoroughly the rooms in this place are bugged. And again, it was always just a private summer home, wasn't it? Sure, there'd be security, but the owner wouldn't have been spying on the bedrooms of whatever friends and family stayed here with him. Would he? It also makes me think. How is private citizen gonna be so trusted by the government that he's the one hosting us? Director called him a contact. So what, has Koskinen been some sort of intelligence informant all along? But why choose him for this case, dealing with all this supernatural stuff? It's useless to speculate. Either Koskinen or Director Taling would probably have to answer that, and I'm not sure they would. I only pushed myself up off the bed. Might as well take a look around this place. My room is on the second floor, so I peer out the balconies as I head down the hall. Check out the roof. I spot the stairs leading higher up, so I decided to explore in that direction. The stairs lead up to a rooftop swimming pool, complete with showers and a changing area off to one side. I only imagine the kinds of parties Koskinen must have up here for family get-togethers and business networking. By now it's a bit more somber, with guards peering out over the railings in each direction. Second floor. I pass by the balcony overlooking one side of the house. Two guards stand just outside the door where they have a clear view of anything approaching via land, sea, or air. Those aren't the officers who came with me, and I've noticed the other guards around the house look different from any of the armed personnel at the base. Am I part of this international collaboration I keep hearing about? What keeps standing out to me is their limbs. They all have what looks like exposed muscle fibers on their arms and legs. They have some dark synthetic material? Is that type of exoskeleton? I've never seen exo armor of any kind in person, except perhaps the assassins. I admit I'm not a military tech enthusiast, but I've never heard of anything that looks like exposed muscle. One of the guards notices me looking them over and decides to let us door open a crack to speak to me.
You look like you have questions. No need to be shy. We're here to serve you, after all.
Oh, I didn't want to bother you.
It's no trouble. We can keep an eye out while talking.
Thanks.
I guess I was just wondering who you are. I haven't seen uniforms like yours before. Are you part of this international coalition? Or...
Verco, private security.
Right. Verco. Komani mentioned that.
How did Verco get involved in the situation anyway?
These assassins would normally be a matter for the police and the government, right?
One guard answers with a light shrug.
Governments can hire companies as contractors.
Right. A company collecting so much data would be useful to track down assassins.
Haven't seen gear like yours before.
I know at least a tiny bit about exoskeletons and cybernetics, but these dark parts that look like muscle fibers? That's different.
It's just the design of our cybernetics.
Cybernetics? I assumed it must be some kind of exosuit because otherwise that would mean you replaced all of your limbs?
I split between biceps and calves all made of the same synthetic material.
Yeah, I know. Most people like to keep what they're born with unless they don't have a choice. But as cybernetics go, implants can only get you so far. Organic parts have their limits and need to be protected, whether they're augmented internally with implants or externally with an exosuit. But with these limbs here, I can outrun even an Olympic athlete in exo armor and keep up the pace for kilometers. Or drop the height of a 10-story building without breaking anything. Not to mention, they're way more resilient than suits against small arms fire. Nothing squishy inside to protect.
You're saying you voluntarily became amputees? All of you?
Not all of us. It's not technically required. Some use exoskeletons, implants, or both, but if you want to become truly elite, every advantage counts.
I looked between them for a moment at a loss for words.
It's not so bad. These are just my work limbs. I'm not stuck with them. When I'm off duty, I can switch to medical prosthetics that look and feel basically organic.
Only the best when you've become one of the elite, right?
When you get paid like we do, you can afford some nice things, yeah.
Not to mention, you can get limbs specialized to take things to another level outside combat too, if you know what I mean.
His partner stares at him blankly.
You're really gonna say that to a guest? While we're on duty.
What? I'm not trying to...
He looks to me.
Was it too
Don't worry about it.
No, I appreciate the openness. I've never known anyone who's done what you have. It's interesting to learn what life is like for you. All aspects of life.
See? She's fine.
Ask before, not after.
Right.
How did a tech company end up with such heavily armed guards?
You'd normally only see people with gear like ours guarding critical company assets, or top-level executives and their families.
And I guess that's exactly who's here.
This assignment is unique, though. Like we said, we're here for you, not just company assets and personnel.
Either way, I guess Verco takes security pretty seriously if it has its own special forces unit, basically.
Imagine what would happen if Verco's services suddenly shut down. All the biggest platforms for search, communication, shopping, data storage, gone. The world would come to a halt. So yeah, cybersecurity and physical security. There's a lot of damage you can do if you can physically access the people with the highest clearance, or the hardware itself.
Of course, you'd always have to be on alert for kidnappers, infiltrators, assassins.
I mean, even the boss himself is always packing heat.
The other guard gives him a look.
What? It's not like it's a secret. Especially from her.
Normally, when a person carries concealed, they prefer not to advertise it. But you're right. Technically, it's not classified information. After all, if she really wanted, she could probably dig through public records for his permit.
Wait, you're saying Koskinen has a permit to carry firearms? Always, as a civilian? I didn't think a permit existed that would let you into a city with a loaded gun. And concealed?
Why are you so surprised? Anything's possible with the right exceptions. Like the ones we operate under as private security. Not saying it's easy.
How have I never heard about this before? The one civilian allowed to carry a gun?
The only? You really are a city kid, huh?
You say that like you're not from a city. I didn't think there was anything outside the cities, except obviously factory farms, but that's basically all automated.
You're mostly right, but yeah, individual farmers exist. You just might not hear about them much.
Even so, carrying a gun designed to target people is completely different from a hunting rifle or something. It's still a pretty sensational news story.
There's an amused smirk on the guard's face as he asks.
And where would you have heard about it?
In my newsfeed, or searching online. Of course.
Verco algorithms are behind all of those things.
Like I said, it's not secret, but you're not going to find it unless you know exactly what to look for.
So only if I already know about it, basically.
He shrugs. What sort of person is your boss?
I'm curious what you can tell me about him. It sounds like he's different from what I thought.
Carrying a concealed gun is not what I expected, and I wonder what else I should know about our host.
Can't say I know him personally. I've just heard about him training with the same instructors we do.
He what now? So like, special forces training?
I'm pretty sure he doesn't have time for our actual training regimen, but apparently self-defense is what he does for fitness. Practical, if you ask me.
Sounds like you respect him then.
The man wants to be his own last line of defense. So yeah, I can respect that. He could have easily not bothered and just been another helpless civilian in a suit. Of course, the compensation doesn't hurt my opinion either.
I gaze out the horizon with the guards for a moment, reflecting. I guess it's understandable that he'd want to be ready in case he becomes a target, but it just seems so intense. It's almost like he's preparing for a war. No more questions.
Alright, take care.
Check out the ground floor. I head down to the ground floor, glancing around the dining room and the main hall with its grand staircase. There are lounges, a game room, a home theater, and I think I see an indoor pool? Ah, right, their hot tub and sauna are in here alongside a cold water pool. It's more of a spa area. These windows must be great to look out at winter storms from the comfort of the warm water. Though, it's hard to imagine a storm like that considering how comfortably warm it was outside. The world has been in a state of essentially winter for years now, but around this house it's been a comfortable temperature. Are they artificially heating the entire area just so they can enjoy the luxury of lounging in bathing suits regardless of the actual climate? The city had outdoor heating too, but it was clearly on a budget just to keep things livable and prevent roads and pipelines from freezing up. For all I know, even the sand might be imported to turn a rocky shore into a comfortable place to spread a beach towel. Not to mention the garden I see out the window. How much care do these kinds of plants require in this part of the world? All that for a private home? I know there are people in the world who do things like that, buying private islands, sculpting the landscape however they wish. I never thought I'd meet someone like that. My family's homes have been nice, but this is something else entirely. Alright, I guess we have to stop exploring. Making my way back to the main hall, I see a couple of people talking, seated in 2 armchairs under one branch of the main staircase. They look like they're about my age. Maybe there's some of the other special people the director mentioned? I never say hello, I catch part of their conversation.
Yeah, it's weird walking around indoors with shoes on, isn't it?
Huh? Was I supposed to?
Eyes widen. Did I screw up? I look back towards the entrance where I'd expect to see a shoe rack and a collection of slippers if the norm was to go shoeless, but there's nothing there.
Hi, by the way.
No, you're fine. We're supposed to maintain readiness, the same as all the guards going around the place in boots. Can't expect them to go into battle wearing slippers. Or for us to run for our lives wearing slippers. Not that I think we'll need to. Anyway, you must be the other guest Mikan mentioned. I'm Hektor, and this is Sara. Who might you be?
Althea, but I normally go by Thea. Did you just get here as well?
Yes, we did.
She seems confused by the question, or maybe just confused to see me? Either way, I noticed they didn't give last names, so I figure it was safest to do the same.
Well, don't just stand there. Join us. Have a seat.
I look between the 2 of them in their armchairs.
Where am I supposed to sit? In your lap?
I mean, if you want to. I'm not going to say no.
Hector, you just met her.
She's the one who suggested it.
I'm almost tempted to go for it and see how he'd react, but I don't want to make him uncomfortable if he's just joking. And yet, something about the idea of teasing him feels familiar. I can't imagine trolling someone I just met, but a strangely warm, comfortable feeling like I could just dive in and treat him like an old friend. What the hell?
Anyway, we can just have another chair brought over.
He raises one hand, leaning to the side to peer down the hallway, probably signaling some staff member. But in the meantime... I get my own chair. No need to wait for the staff. Before they can notice and respond to Hector's signal, I've already made my way to the other pair of chairs on the opposite branch of the main stairs and end up sliding one over to them.
Oh, you
Or
don't
one of
have
them
to.
over.
Here, let me,
It's fine. I've already done it.
I step around and plop down into the newly positioned chair.
I don't really like bothering the staff about things either. I always feel so rude.
It's what they're paid for. Don't worry about it.
Still, I hate to be the one making their jobs harder.
My family has a few people working for them too, but if it's something I can easily do myself, I just do it. Sometimes it's faster to do it myself anyway.
You have that too? Oh, I can't imagine.
You'll get used to it.
So, I guess we'll have a chance to meet some interesting new people while we're here.
Will we?
Looks confused and glances to her companion as if he might know the answer to that?
I guess I thought it was just you, me, and Farkas who were affected by all this. Though, it makes sense if it's bigger than just us. I really don't know much about what's going on.
So, you had a run-in with some sort of assassins, I'm guessing?
You could say that.
He nods solemnly.
Glad you made it then. This is probably the safest place to be right now. My dad will see to everything, and I've always liked this place. There'll be plenty to do here while they sort everything out.
I pause for a moment. He seems to be implying that Koskinen is his father?
Oh, Hektor Koskinen. Oh, that's right. I heard you were in an attack a couple days ago.
It should have been obvious as soon as I heard Hektor and Sara. Johannes mentioned that story so recently. My brain must be fried after dealing with the past couple weeks.
Right. You and everyone else.
There's a tired, faraway look in her eyes.
I know. I'm sorry. You shouldn't get anyone else approaching you now that you're here.
What happened?
As soon as news broke that I was with the son of the Verco CEO, my family got blasted with messages, invitations, gifts from everyone who might want an introduction. Some from really powerful people. If they're actually who they said, it was scary. I just blocked everything.
Normally the algorithms keep me and anyone who knows me out of the spotlight. Most people in the world don't even know what I look like or what my first name is. But something like this gets out and, well, sharks smell blood.
Damn. I'm sorry.
But, yeah, that's how we ended up coming here.
Well, it's a nice place to be at least. My family's home is pretty nice, but we've never had more than one at the same time.
At the same time? So you've still lived a lot of different places?
We moved a lot. I've lived in a few different countries, and we just came to Iceland recently.
Your parents must have some intense jobs with all that travel.
It isn't that.
I stopped short of saying what I now believe must be a true reason for our moves. Something to do with my supernatural abilities surfacing? Tolling told me to avoid talking about anything magical and stick to assassins and witness protection, so that's what I'll do. The real weird shit is best shared carefully at the right time.
It was more just because they wanted to. Though my family is also international to begin with.
Touring the world? Just for the fun of it? Oh, that sounds nice.
It's definitely exposed me to a lot of different things. Different ways of living.
Reflecting on the questions Farkas was asking earlier, I looked between the two of them.
I don't suppose you have any idea what these people are after? The ones who attacked us?
I don't know. We saw them, but it didn't seem like we were the ones they wanted.
Saw? You almost died.
But what would have happened to you if I hadn't? Besides, a sword to the gut isn't nearly enough to keep me down.
Damn, that sounds... I was lucky enough to have a police vehicle find me while I was still running. You're looking well, at least.
He was lucky that it avoided anything major.
And probably lucky that his family could pay for all the most advanced treatment options.
So then, who were the assassins targeting if it wasn't either of you? Do you know?
Oh, it was Farkas they attacked first. We were just trying to help.
Ah, that's right. He was talking about that.
So, you ran into him?
Almost literally, as it turns out. I saw what looked like another guest, so I went to say hi. But I must have snuck up on him too suddenly. He nearly crashed into me when he turned around.
Yay, again I have a history for compassionate choices!
That's an interesting way to meet. I bet it caught him off guard too.
Yeah.
It was fine.
He apologized, and we were able to chat a little bit. We didn't get much chance to talk before one of the staff arrived to show him to his room. Though he said he looked forward to getting to know each other more.
He did? Oh, well, that's nice.
He looks away as if worried about something.
Yeah, we'll have plenty of chances to hang out together while we're here.
So, what about you two? Are you together, then? Or...
He exchanged an awkward, surprised glance and laughed uncomfortably. Or at least Sara seems uncomfortable. Hektor just laughs.
No. We're just friends.
Ah, sorry.
I shifted my seat, wishing I could ask them whether they'd experienced anything else unusual. Anything that might give me some hints of what their roles might be in this whole Ragnarok business, if anything. But maybe they don't have any role. Maybe Hektor's only evolved because of whose son he is, and Sara was a bystander at the wrong place at the wrong time, and now they both need to be protected.
Don't worry about it.
Thankfully, they seem to think my discomfort is just because I guessed wrong about their relationship. I wouldn't mind spending some more time with these guys, but it's been a long day. It'll be dinner time before long, and I could use some time to think. Nice meeting you.
I think I might want to rest a bit before dinner, but I'll see you soon.
See ya.
Bye.
I head up the main stairs and off in the direction of my room. I'm sitting down on the bed and lying back. I'm not sure how much rest I'll get with so many thoughts spinning around in my head. For one thing, I find myself worried about Hektor. If Koskinen could possibly have a son with some supernatural connection, that could be another reason he and this location were tapped for this mission. And again, if that were the case, why did it sound like the assassins weren't targeting Hektor? Wouldn't they target him just for who he is, regardless of anything supernatural? Hopefully they'll explain it all before long. It's a pain not being able to ask around and discuss it. Close my eyes and try to rest after all the adrenaline of coming here, thinking I'm finally about to face some all-important supernatural struggle. And to think those two downstairs were talking about just hanging out, relaxing while they, the authorities, sort everything out. I wish it were that simple. Close my eyes, I think of those two and they remind me of my friends I left behind. Of Hektor, who's more than just left behind, but completely gone. Everything happened so fast, it doesn't even feel real, but the reality is still there. I lost someone forever. Is that selfish? And my feelings mostly have to do with what I've lost rather than what he lost? We didn't know each other for long, but even so. Seeing him and the others joking around, I want to have a place there with them. So much for that. Who knows if I'll see any of them again. I'm tired. Tired of losing people, of walking out of their lives and having them pulled out of mine. But I still hope these other guests and I can enjoy each other's company, at least for a while. Give us a new chance to make friends. Who am I kidding? After a few weeks, I'll probably never see any of them again. Oh, sigh. There's no way I'll be able to take a nap at this rate. I bring up my head and start poking around distractedly. Actually, I think I still have access to secure line and using to contact Johannes. In theory, my parents. They're gonna be around if I reach out for a chat. Only one way to find out. During what happened last time, I figure I better send a message to check first so he knows it's not an emergency. Give a minute to see a response and play it back.
Yes, I could talk if you like. Feel free to call when you're ready.
I have to call, and after a few moments, he picks up.
2 calls in one day? To what do I owe the pleasure?
A lot changed today. Starting right after our first call ended, in fact. So, I just thought it'd be nice to talk for a bit.
Oh?
I'm at a new secure location now. Not in the city anymore, but on the mainland. Although, which mainland, I'm not actually sure. I assumed they meant Iceland, but they've even blocked my GPS to keep me from seeing where we are.
I see. And how's that been? Does it feel like an improvement, or... I don't know if you can talk about the reasons for the move, but I'm trying to figure out whether I should be concerned or relieved.
It's definitely nicer. It's a mansion by the beach surrounded by nothing but nature. Though security is high and it feels like I'm here because things are getting more intense. But at least I'm not alone. There are others here. The very same students from my school you were telling me about from that other attack. Farkas, Sara, Hektor. It sounds like whoever's after me is after them as well. Or at least they're after Farkas. The other two might have just been caught up in it by accident.
Sorry, what was that? You cut out after there are others here.
I was saying that it's the same students from that other attack. The one you told me happened 2 days ago?
You're cutting out again. I heard I was saying, but that's it.
Do you think this might not be a coincidence? It's like every time I try to say certain things...
My thoughts exactly.
I'm going to try something. Let me know what you can hear.
He cocks his head, looking intrigued and amused, a conspirational smile spreading across his face.
All right.
Farkas, Verko, Sara, Viking Squad, Erik Koskinen, Hektor. Did you get any of that?
I got Verko, Viking Squad, and Erik Koskinen.
Really? That's what isn't secret?
You're telling me these words have something to do with your situation?
Well, the mansion is one of Koskinen's properties. Apparently, he serves as some sort of contact for the government organization I was staying with before.
Now I lost you after apparently.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
If you're trying to share confidential information about other people, that could be the reason.
Right. No one explicitly told me which of these things are confidential, but if they've got their algorithms filtering all my outgoing communication, maybe they don't need to.
So, you're being protected from a group who's hunting you due to your unusual abilities, and now somehow the CEO of Verko is involved, and you're staying at his house?
Basically.
He's silent for a moment, thinking.
I can imagine ways for that to make sense, and I don't like them.
Great.
Well, beach mansion or not, I can't say I envy you. I'm already monitored because I use this line, but I can't imagine how much more surveillance you're under. You're staying in the home of Big Brother himself.
Come on. Big Brother isn't any one person. It's all kinds of different companies collecting data.
And how many of those tie back to Verko? You know, it's ironic. Words like web, net, the word Verko itself, they represent connection. But they also represent, well, a trap. Webs catch flies, nets catch fish.
And the all-encompassing net Verko catches people? Is that where you're going with this?
He shrugs.
Don't tell me you're going to run off and become a hermit. I'd miss you for one thing.
No, I'm not. I use these tools knowing full well what they are, and at least for me, the way I use them, it's worth it. It lets me talk to you, for one thing.
You said you're being monitored because of the secure line? You must hate that. I'm surprised you agreed to it.
Such is the price of making sure people are safe. A sacrifice of privacy. It's always a question of how much you're willing to give, and for what.
Is it bad, though? The amount of monitoring?
It's nothing unexpected. They have full access to this device in order to ensure compliance with their security standards. And, of course, these conversations aren't exactly private, as you saw earlier.
They have full access to your phone? That's a lot.
Which is why I recently got a new phone just for this, courtesy of your parents.
So why can't they do the same? Can't you tell me?
Like I said, this call isn't private, but I should be able to share this much. To use this line, your parents would need to agree to more than I did. It was more than they were willing to sacrifice, even to see you. There is something personal going on, something unique to them. They don't... Just be careful who you trust.
Notification pops up in the corner of my view. Remind me of dinner approaching.
Right. And on that note, time to meet Big Brother. I'm supposed to head down for dinner soon.
If you don't mind, I'm curious what he's like. He seems to avoid doing interviews or engaging in public discourse, so I was never able to get a good read on him.
I have something to share.
Actually, I spoke to some of the Verko guards earlier, and apparently he carries a gun, legally, and gets self-defense training from whoever instructs his elite security team, which is pretty heavily armed, by the way.
That's not what I was expecting.
Tell me about it.
Honestly, I have more questions now than I did before. Also, none of that was censored?
Really? I figured I'd go ahead and say it, even if some of it ended up getting blocked. But I guess the guards did say this stuff isn't secret. Just rare to find in search results.
I see. I appreciate it either way. If you need to go, then I guess I'll talk to you later.
Thanks for everything you're doing.
Before you go, I just wanted to let you know I appreciate it. How you make yourself available and give me a link to the outside world. I know it's not easy, especially with the monitoring and red tape you have to put up with, but it means a lot.
I'm glad to hear it. Take care.
I close my eyes and rest for a few breaths before pushing myself up to my feet. Time to see what's in store for me downstairs. Yeah, I was like, we're hitting the end of the chapter right there. And going back to Farkas. So, we're heading to dinner. That was just a lot of information gathering, really. I guess Althea meeting Hektor and Sara. And finding out, our phone calls are being censored. So, we'll find out maybe a little bit more next time, because I think they said they were going to tell things at dinner? I guess? I don't know! This is all new to me now, since we're past chapter 0. So, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider liking, commenting, and or subscribing. If you really enjoyed it, consider supporting the channel. All support greatly helps to keep doing content like this and more. I'll links for that in the description below, along with links to me on social media. You can also become a channel member. There should be a little join button. Also, thank you Uber Strategist for the code for the game on Steam. Thank you again for watching. And until next time, this is rinimt signing out. Bye!